Whoa, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck happening in YouTube atheist community and debate, you know, mediocrity. Yeah, it was a weird night last night. Started off late because I got this ear infection, and so I overslept. And then, I can't hear at all. Ugh, sorry. Let's see if I can get something back. I feel like I'm a deaf person. I can feel myself talking, but I can't hear myself talking. Anyway, so, yeah, it's always an hour late. And then we jibber-jabbered. It wasn't really, it wasn't horrible conversation, but didn't go where I really wanted it to. And I do sort of have a focus now that I want to hone in on. Whoa. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look, see, a slippery spot. Slippery. Yeah. Fuck, how come when you don't wear socks, stuff gets into your... Look, my sneaker's broken. Yeah, it's broken. Anyway, now if I wear socks, though, nothing gets in there. And if I got bare feet, and all kinds of prickers get in there and shit, and rocks, all kinds of crap. I don't understand that. Anyway, well, I do understand it, I suppose, if I really think about it, and that's the whole point. All these subjects, free will, God, everything, all it takes is a little bit of thinking, and you unravel them, you deconstruct them, and you reveal them for what they are, which is nonsense. But people really don't want to do that, and it's kind of odd. Yeah, they just don't want to accept it. The facts are there to be clearly seen, and there's no grand mystery. These trials have obvious resolutions, guilt, innocence kind of thing. It's black and white. I was thinking of that, drawing a map, my reality map, and if I was doing it as an abstract painting, I would have four colors, black and white, to describe your internal state, like how am I doing as an individual consciousness. Like right now I'd be running kind of dark because, I'm deaf. It's just annoying. And it's sort of painful too, which is, it's just I'm not comfortable in my current state. And then you'd have your external effect colors of, let's say, red and green, green positive, red negative, and you could visualize, like Pierrot, you could map, you could see it for what it is, for what's going on. And so I could argue that, okay, my external effect is, okay, I'm projecting some negative energy on the internet, so that's some red, but it's green because, yeah, it's informative maybe. And I didn't call my mother, so she might be depressed, and so that's some red. I got, I'm pushing out some red there, and some other, I might have hurt somebody else's feelings or done something to slight somebody, and threw a little more red in. And it's just, this is sort of our life. As it goes through, as we live our life, we're producing these colors, and they leave a mark. They leave an impression. But in some ways it's a static impression in the sense that it's forever, and in some ways it's got a net totally kind of thing, that's kind of a running total that might be quite different in terms of scale, because time is important. How long you're in prison does matter. Being in prison's bad. How long you're in prison makes it badder, kind of thing. So yeah, there's this character to things that it might not be easy to map in just 2 dimensions. I don't want to get caught up in a whole mapping video. Sorry about that. But anyway, that's the kind of thing I was thinking about. And yeah, that wasn't really the subject. So anyway, I only recorded the first 3 hours or so, the duller hours, I suppose. Well, they weren't that bad. I was yelling at Pierrot, which is partly why I'm deaf now, because this problem I have with my ears and the tubes goes into your throat, and I apparently ripped my throat a new asshole, and that fucked my ears worse. So it's just I mean, it's just such these people are just so irritating. There's such simple solutions to problems. So we have this stupid butthole employees of the NSA are going to decide what information should be made public or not. And somehow these guys think this whistleblower thing is the way we should be monitoring our government. And no, it's a stupid way. It's completely arbitrary. It'll be littered with political advantage. If you don't like the guy, then you out him on his affair. If you like the guy, then you don't out him. I mean, it's just this isn't the Justice Department kind of a thing. So we got to do better than that. So we have to have systems of accountability that have a little more credibility than this. So I can't. I mean, if you're going to give me no choice, if you're going to say, no, let's not fix this system, let's not have accountability, well then, okay, you're stuck with whistleblowers because there's nothing else. But I say you fix the problem. You don't fix. It sounds like a cliche, but yeah, you don't break the law to defend the law. That's just not the way you do it. I mean, okay, you create better law. If the law needs fixing, you fix it. You don't break it. It's a last resort, not any other kind of resort. And I don't think we've tried hard enough to justify, this idea that we're just going to let any shitwit employee decide what part of our national security infrastructure needs to be destroyed. No thank you. I mean, I don't like our democracy much, because it has no depth. But I sure as hell know I didn't fucking vote for, Joe's six-pack to make decisions. Anyway, that's a whole separate subject. Well, I mean, it's a subject that was talked about. But, again, I don't really like the subject. And, but people gravitate to these things. The whole Arab crap wasted a big pile of time on that one. And what the fuck we're doing in the Middle East and all that shit. But whatever. It happens. Subjects that, people have other interests than I have, obviously. But anyway. So it wasn't a bad night. It just wasn't good. And then what happened was, in the middle of the night, like whatever it was, 3 or 4 in the morning, the whole room crashed. And it took an hour to get back in. And by then I was like really tired. So, I didn't record it, but there's a couple more hours of babble. And that's about it. So, yeah. I mean, it was kind of lighter and funner, maybe. But I don't think there was anything too deep in that second round. What else? So I think that's about it for... So yeah, I don't know, this technology does fail, and it really is irritating. It fails in ways you don't even know why it's failing. It doesn't give you any information, which is, it's just all annoying. So anyway, I think the rest of the community, there isn't much going on. It's the same characters that I watch. Did watch that new guy, the Swivel Guy's video on magical thinking, and that seems a really good theme. Instead of identifying bullshit as just being religious bullshit, it's much better to identify bullshit as just being bullshit, nonsense, rubbish, self-justifying crap. And there's a whole pile of that in what's called the philosophical or atheist community. Now they're agnostic on God, they're agnostic on agnostic, on free will. I mean, these are subjects that should be well over. The arguments have been made. It's decisive, slam dunk. They somehow think you have a will that can overcome ignorance. That's the theory. That you can be stone cold dumbass, and somehow your will will take care of it, and you'll behave like you're intelligent instead. So no need to learn how to, play the cello. Just will it, and it'll happen. Yeah, I mean, it's preposterous on its face. You can't derive character from nowhere. You have to build it. This is just a fact. There's no magical knowledge sources. There's no injection of magical knowledge. You have to fucking learn it. You have to have the ingredients of a pie. If you don't put the ingredients for pie in the oven, well, when you open the oven, pie ain't going to come out. So you have to have the parts. You have to mix them right. And that's what you're doing. You're the composition that is you was formed by a recipe. There's no magical sources of knowledge, no magical wisdom. You made it out of your influence, the influences and experiences of your life, and that's what it's made out of. You don't have the right experiences, you're not going to have the right ideas. Plain and simple. And there's just no evidence of anything else. There's no evidence of any magical source of will. It's just completely a nonsensical, made-up notion. Has no credibility as an idea. The word free will is just right there, a non sequitur. The word free. What? Not limited by ignorance again, right? Not limited by knowledge, not limited by practice, not limited by acquisition. No, these are all things we are limited by. The moon will not shine if the sun blows up. I mean, there's just facts. And you can't just make this crap up. It's not free. You're not free of the limitations. And the only thing that frees you of limitations is the acquisition of information, knowledge, impacts, things that build you. So anyway, it's just bogus language, and perverted to make it even more bogus. So instead of trying to fix the language, these people make the language even worse so they can keep pretending we don't know the truth. And that's all they're doing. They're just looking for a pretense to skirt around reality because it looks too ugly for them, too dark, too messy, too sloppy. So I'll just pretend it doesn't exist. That's all they're doing. And it's bullshit. So anyway, that's probably be the theme of videos this week, is I'm going to try to focus on this, the clarity of this idea that logic is just properly identifying categories and properties. That's all we are, is properties. Everything has properties. You identify the properties. You create categories that tie things of like properties together. And that's all we're doing. That's all there is. That is reality. And if you follow that structure, and you don't cheat overtly, like put religious fables in some other category besides fable, and instead put it in the scientific possibility category, well, that's cheating, and you'll break the map. You can't build a reality map with those overt cheats. And we should be able to finally call people on it. Like I said, these conversations have been had over and over, and people keep pretending like no one's made decisive counter-arguments. I mean, decisive ones. And they keep pretending they haven't been made. They haven't answered the arguments. They just evade them and avoid them so they can pretend they can still reasonably talk about the possibility of the existence of a unnamed intelligence in the universe, or some idea, some silly notion that they do have a little man inside of them called I, who makes choices, who knows better than we do. Yeah, Mr. Will inside my body will decide for me, and he's so much smarter than I am. Yeah, clearly. I mean, this is a preposterous nonsense. It's been demonstrated and shown to be what it is. That conversation should be over. We really shouldn't have to keep going back to it and going back to it and going back to it. It's just bullshit. So it's really got to be itemized, and then people have to show their credentials. You show them the evidence, they acknowledge they saw the evidence, and then when they call themselves agnostic, you can just say, clearly they're an imbecile. Clearly they're cheating. They have no reason to put that nonsense in that category, and you can just call them on it. It's a lie, it's a fraud, it's a fake, and yeah, just call them what they are. Incredible liars. Because that's all these people are doing. They're incredibly lying to justify the fairy tale they want to live in. That's all. Yep. Anyway, there, made a video out of this. So, sorry for my, whatever, compromised functionality. Yeah, sorry that I'm not doing exactly. I really am not. I mean, I'm making some good videos, so I'll say good for that. But yeah, I really got to do better still. Got to really refine it all, funnel it, clean it, filter it into pure goddamn evil. Yeah, I don't mind calling it evil. It's kind of a nice word, evil. It's pretty. 4 letters, Ethel, evil, yeah, why not? I'll just redefine the word properly. It was the right thing all along. Yeah, the butterflies are really the bad guys. Yeah, all right, anyway. Till, oh, I can't even move the thing. Ooh, nice mushroom. Just popped up. Nice little specimen. Yeah, pretty good. Anyway, till next time and such.